For 40 long years, darkness hung over Israel. The Philistines ruled with an iron fist, crushing hope wherever it grew. But in the small town of Zorah, something miraculous was about to happen. A man named Manoah lived there with his wife. They had no children, a deep sorrow in their hearts. Then one day, everything changed. An angel appeared to Manoah's wife with stunning news.
You will have a son, but listen carefully. Drink no wine, eat nothing unclean. Your son's hair must never be cut. He will be set apart for God from birth, and he will begin to save Israel from the Philistines.
The woman's heart raced. Could this be real? She ran to her husband, breathless with joy. Manoah prayed desperately. Lord, send the angel again. Teach us how to raise this special child. God heard him. The angel returned and repeated the sacred instructions. Soon, a son was born. They named him Samson. Tell us in the comments where you're watching this video from. And may you be blessed with favor and the light of success as you subscribe to this channel. As the boy grew, God's blessing was upon him. The Spirit of the Lord stirred within him, filling him with power beyond imagination. When Samson became a man, he traveled to the Philistine town of Timnah. There, he saw a woman who captivated him. Get her for me as my wife, he told his parents. They were horrified. Can't you find a woman among our own people? Must you marry one of these uncircumcised Philistines? But Samson insisted. She's the right one. His parents didn't know this was God's plan. A way to confront the Philistines. On the road to Timnah, danger struck. A young lion leaped from the shadows, roaring with fury. Most men would have frozen in terror, but the Spirit of God rushed upon Samson like a mighty wind. With his bare hands, he tore the beast apart as easily as ripping paper. He told no one. Later, returning to marry the woman, Samson passed the lion's carcass. Inside, bees had made a hive dripping with golden honey. He scooped it out and ate, sharing some with his parents. Still, he kept his secret. At the wedding feast, Samson faced 30 Philistine companions. A challenge burned in his mind. I have a riddle for you, he announced. Answer it within 7 days, and I'll give you 30 fine linen robes. But if you can't solve it, you give me 30 robes. Tell us, they demanded. His eyes gleamed. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. For 3 days, they were stumped. Panic set in. On the 4th day, they cornered Samson's wife with a deadly threat. Trick your husband into telling you the answer, or we'll burn you and your father alive. Terror seized her. She wept on Samson's shoulder for days. You hate me. You don't really love me. You won't even tell me the riddle's answer. I haven't told my own parents, he protested. Why should I tell you? But she cried and pleaded for 7 days straight. Finally, he told her everything. She immediately betrayed him to her people. Before sunset on the 7th day, the men smugly declared, "What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion?" Samson's eyes burned with rage. If you hadn't used my wife to plow for answers, you'd never have solved my riddle. The Spirit of the Lord exploded within him. He stormed to Ashkelon, killed 30 men, took their clothes, and paid his debt. Burning with fury, he left his wife behind. But the ultimate betrayal came next. His wife was given to another man. During harvest season, Samson returned with a gift, ready to reconcile. But his father-in-law blocked the door. "I thought you hated her, so I gave her to your companion. Take her younger sister instead." Something snapped inside Samson. "This time, I'm justified in hurting the Philistines," he declared coldly. He caught 300 foxes, tied them tail to tail in pairs, and fastened torches between each pair. Then he lit the torches and released them into the Philistine grain fields. Fire swept across the land. Crops burned. Vineyards blazed. Olive groves turned to ash. The Philistines' livelihood went up in smoke. "Who did this?" they screamed. "Samson, because his wife was given away." In twisted revenge, they burned her and her father alive. Samson's grief turned to white-hot rage. "Since you've done this, I won't stop until I've had my revenge." He attacked them with devastating fury, leaving bodies in his wake. Then he hid in a cave at the rock of Etam. The Philistines marched into Judah, demanding justice. 3,000 men from Judah came to Samson. "Don't you know the Philistines rule over us? What have you done?" "I only did to them what they did to me," Samson replied calmly. "We have to hand you over to them. Just promise you won't kill me yourselves." They bound him with 2 new ropes and led him out. When the Philistines saw him, they shouted in triumph. But the Spirit of the Lord surged through Samson like lightning. The ropes melted like burning thread and fell away. He grabbed a fresh donkey's jawbone and swung it like a weapon of war. One by one, they fell. 1,000 men lay dead. "With a donkey's jawbone, I made donkeys of them," Samson declared, standing victorious among the bodies. But victory brought thirst. Desperate, he cried out, "Lord, you gave me this great victory. Will I now die of thirst?" God split the ground, and water gushed forth. Samson drank and lived. Years passed. Samson's strength became legend. Then he met Delilah in the valley of Sorek, and his downfall began. The Philistine rulers came to her with silver. "Discover the secret of his strength. Help us capture him, and we'll make you rich." Delilah smiled. "Tell me, Samson, what makes you so strong? How could someone tie you up?" He lied. "Tie me with 7 fresh bowstrings, and I'll be as weak as anyone." She did. "Samson, the Philistines are attacking." He snapped the strings like thread. She pouted. "You lied to me." "Again and again?" she asked. Each time, he gave false answers. Each time, she tested him. Finally, she wore him down. "How can you say you love me when you won't trust me?" Day after day, she nagged until he was sick of it. At last he broke. "My hair has never been cut. I've been dedicated to God since birth. If my head is shaved, my strength will leave me." Delilah knew she had him. She lulled him to sleep on her lap and called someone to shave his head. When he woke, his strength was gone. The Lord had left him. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and dragged him to prison in bronze chains. They made him grind grain like an animal. But slowly, quietly, his hair began to grow. The Philistines threw a massive celebration in their temple. "Our god Dagon has delivered Samson to us." Thousands packed inside and onto the roof. "Bring out Samson. Let him entertain us." They brought the blind giant out and stood him between the temple's main pillars. Samson whispered to the boy guiding him, "Let me feel the pillars so I can lean against them." Then he prayed, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Strengthen me just once more. Let me have revenge for my eyes." He braced himself against the 2 central pillars, one hand on each. "Let me die with the Philistines," he said. With every ounce of strength he pushed. The pillars cracked. The temple shook. The roof collapsed. Screams filled the air as 3,000 people fell with the crumbling stone. In death, Samson killed more enemies than in his entire life. His family came and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, beside his father. He had led Israel for 20 years. Samson's story reminds us that God uses imperfect people for perfect purposes. His incredible strength couldn't match his human weakness. Yet in the end, he fulfilled his destiny. Through his life, we learn about faith, temptation, and God's unstoppable will. Even the flawed can be heroes in God's hands.